played 10 plus hours of NBA 2K25. NBA 2K flew me out to put my forehead to the monitor and gather as much information about the gameplay as possible for you guys. Here's everything you need to know about NBA 2K25's gameplay before you hop in. And if you find something helpful for you in this video, you gotta hit the sub button. I don't make the rules. First off, I want to give a huge shout out for NBA 2K for inviting me to Community Day to test the game for y'all. And here's what I learned. Starting off with some of the miscellaneous things that a lot of you guys have been wondering. The court feels bigger because the player models are smaller. So in threes, you're gonna feel like you have way more space to work with, which should turn into different lineups being viable. In fives, the jury is still out on if the court ratio is going to be enough to provide better spacing, mainly because players move way faster this year. Separating speed with ball and agility really makes a difference. Having high agility on your lock builds allows you to plant and change direction at a higher speed than you could. Therefore, defenders who have high IQ out the corner may have the ability to play two and force offensive players to make the right read in order for shots to be open, which to me isn't a bad thing, but I can see how it could be frustrating for newer players. For me, the game speed felt about the same, maybe a little faster than it was last year, though it plays smoother than you saw in 24. With all these reviews, I say take it with a grain of salt. We only got to play for a few hours. When we get the final game, we'll be able to make a better determination about if things need to be changed. Moving on to the offensive side of the ball, we know last year the main contention point was shooting. In 25, find the shooting profile that best fits your playstyle. It's fully customizable from shots, layup timings to defensive settings. Take the time to find the setting that best fits your needs. I played on high risk, high reward most of the day, and I was able to green the shots I normally take. But if you're having issues with the shooting, definitely hit up Learn 2K. It's accessible via the main menu or in any other game mode. It teaches you the basics and also has some shooting drills to help you get down your timing. Pro tip: turn off your jump shot meter. It will help you become a better shooter by forcing you to look at your hand. That will help you learn your cue, which you can then customize in other game modes. You do that from the customized HUD in the pause menu. The big new feature this year were go-to and rhythm shots. And I'm not gonna lie, them go-to shots are probably going to be the wave. You activate them by holding the right stick up, which will play a dribble sequence into a shot, which can be canceled at any point. For my dribblers, this will probably be your favorite feature to determine if you want one that goes directly into a shot or that combos well with your other moves. Rhythm shooting is another story. I was able to green nonsense and foolishness when I used it, but it's hard to master and understand for the first time. How it works is you hold down on the right stick and try to match the tempo of the person shooting the shot. Think of it like the dunk meter, just slower on the release. The goal is to match on all three categories: coverage, timing, and tempo. If you're green in your coverage and timing, but off in your tempo, you will miss the shot. The most important of these categories is your timing and tempo. Green those two, and more times than not, the shot will probably go in. Rhythm shooting can be activated at any time by holding the right stick in any direction. Then flick opposite that direction you held it in to match the tempo. And like go-to shots, they can be canceled at any point before the shot, which should make for some nasty combos. Some shot animations you might like are KD's, Caitlin Clark's, and Michael Porter Jr.'s. And from what I saw, it looked like Jokic still got the best hop jumper in the game. In terms of very shot timings being more consistent, I don't know yet. That's something you have to really determine when the game comes out and you play a lot more online. Moving on to dribbling, it's imperative that nobody goes into 25 with that 24 mindset. The system is completely new. Skill moves are all mapped to the right stick. That includes sham guides, inverted crosses, everything. Most skill moves require double throws, meaning you flick the right stick twice. And speed boosting requires you to set up a move. So you can't just flick the right stick then run out with a fast burst. The speed differential feels a lot better this year compared to last, though I still think 2K would benefit from like a downhill type back. The momentum crosses that we're all so accustomed to, I couldn't figure out how to do it on the right stick. So I don't know if they're not in the game, but I didn't see it. As I mentioned, the left stick has been completely reworked, so some moves you may not see are the fat stop, left stick canceling, and L2 canceling, plus the traditional walkback. But you were able to cross launch from the left stick without holding R2. So stay tuned, because when dribblers have more time in the freestyle to test out moves, it's gonna be scary. Truth be told, it's going to take some time for everybody to get accustomed to this new system, which is probably why you heard Vlad said the system felt sluggish. Because once you initiate a skill move, it doesn't look like at this point you can actually cancel out of it.
Elaborate. So in 24, like it felt kind of smoother, like you can combo more moves, but I feel like in this game right here, defense is a little bit better. So now when you try to combo, if somebody bumps you, you're just moving way slower, like you're just stuck.
What he's talking about is the bumping animation from the defense. If you have a guard with very little strength, a stronger defender can bump you off your spot and put you in a fumble animation. You usually won't lose an adrenaline boost, but that animation can last an extended period of time. I saw this mostly with smaller guards. Bigger ball handlers like Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic usually just bounced off the defender, which made me think that strong handles might be a good badge this year. The way dribbling has been revamped, it has me thinking that it's going to be like 2K19, where you have to combo to get open. Check out Kosa and ISO Ninja, because they both were moving crazy at Community Day. But I will say I was able to do a 2K19-esque spin back by using shot canceling. So for my dribble heads and ISO gods, y'all might want to be in that My Court Tester freestyle to test out every single animation. The dribblers I enjoyed playing with was Stephen Curry, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, SGA, and Luka Doncic. I thoroughly enjoyed the dribbling, but only time will tell the variety that's available when we can equip them with our My players. Lastly, on the offensive side of the ball, we have to talk about the finishing. Slashing felt phenomenal this year, so you might have another year of people dunking on your head. Bigger slashers like Anthony Edwards and LeBron James were just bulldozing through people, and getting a rebound using push-out dribbles to get an extra boost and dunking on the other end felt rewarding. Strong handles is a must for these type of builds, but slashers are still OP. Though I will say the scoop layups definitely have been toned down. Post scoring was actually very fun. I was able to combo some moves with Aaliyah Boston, Asia Wilson, Joel Embiid. With the new spacing on the court, it might be the time of year to try it out. I don't have any footage of it, but standing dunk has been toned down significantly. Though if you're very good at timing the meter, you're still gonna be good at standing dunk. Now we get to my bread and butter, which is the defense. And when I tell you we're still elite, we're still elite. As I've said every year, do not try to get defense patched the first week of the game. One, there's a whole new dribbling system, so y'all not gonna be moving as y'all used to. And two, we need a good sample size to see what's actually broken. So I bet not see none of y'all on Twitter begging Mike Wayne to tone down the steals. Because honestly, it doesn't even feel like they're as overpowered as they were last year. And it seems like the pluck steals are a bit delayed. As you can see in these clips, when I reach at the wrong time, I am stuck in place. So the pluck steals seem to be reduced. But what has made a return is the bump steal. I found the most success trying to bump into the defender to get them to lose the ball, as opposed to actually trying to reach, unless they were going up for a shot. Then they did this kind of strip animation that you saw in the gameplay trailer, and honestly, I like them. There is a huge difference with agility and speed, and it seems like you're going to need both as a defender. For the locks, when you go downhill, meaning forwards and backwards, you're going to need speed to keep up with a defender. If you're moving side to side, then you're going to need agility to keep up pace and launch out quickly. And when you have high agility, you're able to keep up with NBA 2K16 level precision. I haven't determined if high strength or high agility is the best course of action for a lock, but either way, I am excited to see how this plays out online. The new cutoff move also adds a new dynamic into how you defend, because you're able to cover a lot of ground and pre-play the pick. Though the speed is much faster this year on the defensive side of the ball, I felt like I was punished when I chose wrong. I definitely got my ankle snatched when I was playing against Doom when I tried to cut him off and he went back the other way. Trying to over adjust, I fell completely on the ground. So be careful using them cutoff moves. You might find yourself on a highlight. Because of the speed changes, this is why I feel it's hard to determine if the spacing is good enough. If you have a team full of high agility, high speed players, then you could cover a lot more ground than you could in 24. With how comboing is this year, you want to make sure you know how to get the offensive players' adrenaline boost depleted. Though you can force collisions this year, the only way the offensive player loses an adrenaline bar is when there is a collision when the offensive player is holding R2. So just because you saw a fumble animation doesn't necessarily mean they lost an adrenaline bar. Interior defense felt much improved as opposed to last year, though we only had a small sample size, and in play now, it's kind of hard to tell how great it's going to be. So put an asterisk on this and rebounding until we actually see online gameplay. I will say you want to make sure you box out this year, because legendary rebounders are definitely going to be essential. Last thing I want to talk about in this video is just how beautiful the My Team Park is. We started off in the My Team store where you can buy different packs, clothing, etc. And it looks pretty cool. This is what it looks like when you open a pack in My Team. Pretty straightforward, though I don't know if it's gonna stay like that. This is what it looks like when you finish opening packs and you walk around. Shows one of your best cards. In terms of Rivet City, it's just so nostalgic walking back into the court. This is hands down the best park in NBA 2K history. Fight me on it. And I just am so excited to be able to play a few games in My Team on this court. How you do it is you basically hop on the spot, your cards show up, and it's a normal triple threat online game, whether you're playing co-op or by yourself. Though I will say I definitely miss the ability to match make in triple threat online. It wasn't too crazy because we're at community day, but I'm just thinking how bad it's gonna be when you have a bunch of people trying to play from court to court. Other than that, the gameplay was smooth, it looks amazing, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm definitely coming here to get a lot of good thumbnails. But let me know down in the comments, does Rivet City being in My Team incentivize you to actually play the mode? Or would you want this to be the day one part? All in all, 2K25 is looking to be a promising year. The gameplay seems very different than what we got last year. And with the convenience that NBA 2K has added with cap breakers, Rebirth being revamped, the new revamped dribbling system, hopefully we have a good long year of NBA 2K being fun. But let me know in the comments, what feature are you most excited for gameplay in NBA 2K25? And make sure to hit that sub button, turn on your post notifications, because tomorrow morning we are dropping the builder information and I'm dropping my first day one lock. Other than that, I've been your girl Boomy. You can find me under all my socials under but boom boom. And I'll see all y'all good people in the next one. Good night.